Conrad, Luke, and Peter were all heading out for lunch during their break. They worked at a cement plant in the small town of El Paso in Texas, near the wetlands of Rio Bosque Park. In very recent days, the factory had lost a few of their workers under strange circumstances. And Peter, of all, had been awfully stressed about the loss. Tony and Hugh were of those who passed away. They were part of Peter, Conrad, and Luke's group, and suddenly not seeing them around was troubling and traumatic. We should have never messed around with him. What we did wasn't right. What's happened to you all of a sudden, Peter? Why are you behaving like this? Something isn't right. I spoke to Tony's wife yesterday. She told me some strange things about Tony's last moments. Don't you think you're meddling in the matter a bit too much, Peter? Leave it and move on. Let Boss hear this. She's going to be pissed. I don't think you want her Rottweilers chasing you. You remember what she did to the last men that went against her orders? Her dogs are vicious. Those men needed their limbs amputated. I don't care what Marcy will do. This isn't something I can overlook. Conrad, just hear me out. Tony passed away from a heart attack. He saw something that scared him so much he couldn't take it. Anne, get up! Anne! Tony? What happened? Look at you, you're sweating. What's wrong, Tony? Why are you behaving like this? Try to breathe. I'll call an ambulance. No, Anne, listen to me. I saw something. Something in the house. Look at the water. It can happen to anyone. A horrible nightmare. Probably he was stressed out. Sure, it was untimely, but it was a natural demise. And what will you say about Hugh? How can someone drown in their own bed? The police found his lungs filled with water. They found strange, murky water in his apartment, and in Tony's house too. How can you say these were natural deaths? Luke, don't you understand where the water is coming from? It's a sign. What are you trying to say? They saw a freaking ghost? That's nothing but bull, Peter. Don't bring your superstitions into this. It was no ghost. There was something otherworldly there. What? Listen, Peter. Conrad is right. Have patience. The police will eventually find a logical explanation behind it all. But something supernatural? Really? This doesn't make sense. This is all a repercussion of that night. I had a bad feeling since the moment we... Listen, Peter. Just shut up. We'll get caught because of you. And if you don't stop this nonsense, you won't need no spook to come and kill you. I'll do it myself. It's all right, Conrad. Calm down. And Peter, keep it real, man. Chill out. Luke patted Peter on the back before he and Conrad got up to get back to work. The rest of the day at the factory went by awfully stressful for Peter. As soon as his shift was over, he hurried to get home and checked all the locks on his windows and doors. He needed relief, but the paranoia that ran within him wouldn't let him rest. Peter neither took a shower nor went anywhere near water for the past days. His head hurt, and it was difficult to sleep like this, but after much time, he finally dozed off. Sometime around 1 a.m., Peter woke up to a sudden noise in his hallway. He sat up startled to the sound of wet footsteps coming nearer and nearer to his room. He had no doubt that someone else, or something else, was in the apartment. In a panic, he ran out his room, too afraid to even look around. But as soon as he heard the footsteps nearing him down the hall, he could think of only one way to save himself. He went to the kitchen and set a fire around him. He wasn't going to drown to his end like Hugh. He wouldn't let water get anywhere near him. Peter stood there in the center of the fire, trembling as he saw a figure approach him out of the darkness. No, you can't do anything to me. You can't. Sometime around 2 a.m., the fire department received numerous calls from an apartment complex on the east side of town. They rushed to the emergency and extinguished the fire that had spread in one of the apartments. This is so unusual. I've never seen anyone burnt so badly. Did he not even try to escape? Rather, it looks like he deliberately spilled oil on himself, which fueled the fire even more. His name was Peter Kaufman. He worked at the nearby cement plant. None of this makes sense. Other people who used to work there recently passed away. You think this is linked to those cases? I don't know what is going on, but this is all very strange. When Luke and Conrad got news of Peter's sudden demise, they could no longer overlook the strange occurrences that had happened in the past week. Conrad, maybe Peter was right. This has all been happening since that night. You think he's come back to get rid of us? No, don't be a fool. It can't be him. He's gone for good. Someone else is behind this. We just have to figure who. What are we going to do? We'll guard the warehouse tonight. Make preparations. If need be, we'll get rid of this guy. That night, after the cement plant was closed, Luke and Conrad returned to the warehouse. They intentionally made it apparent that someone was inside. However, they hid out on the rooftop and kept a lookout for anyone who tried to trespass onto the factory premises. If there was someone targeting them, this was to be the perfect opportunity for him to bait them, or to become the bait himself. Stay awake, Luke. You risk tonight, you risk your life. I don't think we need to, Conrad. What is he doing here at this time? Doesn't he work here? Oh, so he's the one behind this. He thinks he's smart, huh? Two can play at that game. Conrad and Luke had spotted Ian Graham, one of the inspection officers at the cement plant. Get ready, let's teach this guy a lesson, Conrad said. No man, I'm not going near the swamp. Shut up and do what I told you. Unless you want Marcy to find out, we were careless, and now someone is onto us. She's not going to spare either of us, so then man up and arm yourself. Conrad and Luke sneaked down to the warehouse. I thought I saw someone go out to the back. I'll go check. You stay here just in case, and do not hesitate to take action. With that, Conrad clutched onto his gun as he stepped out of the warehouse. The area was quiet, but Conrad couldn't ignore the feeling that he wasn't alone. You can't hide from me. As he walked a bit further, he suddenly smelled something odd. He felt something moist under his shoe. Horrified to see the concrete ground wet with footsteps, he anxiously followed the trail around the warehouse when he suddenly heard a scream from inside. Conrad hurried to the front entrance, but just from a glimpse inside, he broke out into a cold sweat. The wet trail under Conrad's feet led up to a dark figure that stood over Luke's motionless body on the ground. In sheer anxiety, Conrad ran out to his car, absolutely petrified by what he saw. He had to get out of here, but he couldn't return home. He had to get away from this place, away from this town, and most importantly, away from any source of water. Conrad drove out to the mountainside. He spent the night in the darkness of the woods that spread over the rocky cliffs of North Franklin Mountain. Once morning came, he traveled further up, away from any river or stream in the area. It was around the afternoon when he reached a good spot and set up a fire and a small shelter. Conrad was fatigued, but the thought that he would be safe here finally gave him some peace of mind. No one was around for miles, and neither could anyone get here easily. As the sun set, he lay down on the rocky, barren ground and soon dozed off. However, hunger and discomfort got the best of him, and he remained tossing and turning as the long hours passed. He checked his watch. It was only 10. The whole night was ahead of him. Conrad looked out to the skies. When suddenly he heard a rustle in the trees far in the distance. He jumped up, his heart beating fast. Seeing that dark figure far ahead, as the figure approached him, Conrad was horrified to see a familiar face once again, but something about that face wasn't right. It wasn't normal. How could this be? How could he be alive? Conrad, Luke, Peter, Tony, and Hugh all worked side by side as laborers at the cement plant. But the job was in no way worth the minimum wage they received. However, the men had no complaint, because they had chosen this specific job at this specific location for a specific cause. It was the perfect job to disguise their actual motives of running an illegal business hidden within the boundaries of the cement plant. All packages were tightly sealed and hidden within numerous cement bags that were exported to various outlets where their dealers would pick up the concealed goods. No one suspected them of such a crime. Rather, they received much respect and generosity of being hardworking laborers at the factory. "Good morning, men. How is everything going? I heard the machinery has been acting up lately." "Mr. Engineer, what's up, man? Take a break. Everything is fine. We never see you sit down even once." "Well, gotta do my job. Safety first for you fellow workers." "Take it easy, man. We all need a break. You're a bachelor, aren't you? I was taking my family to the lakeside this weekend. You can join. Hey, fishing always takes things off the mind, eh?" "Oh, no, but thank you. I don't really get onto boats. I don't know how to swim." "No worries. It will be a chance to teach the engineer something for a change." The men kept good relations with the staff at the cement plant. They all maintained a dual life where no one suspected them of anything. However, it was one night that things went a little out of plan when someone showed up at the wrong place at the wrong time. Engineer Craig Carlson had stayed overtime to deal with some malfunctions with the machinery. It was around 10 at night when he spotted some workers in the warehouse and followed to inquire the matter. As far as he knew, no one was supposed to be here at this time. "Conrad? Peter? What is going on here? What are you men putting into the cement bags?" "Mr. Engineer, the question should be, what are you doing here? You shouldn't be where you don't belong." "What do you mean? What are you people doing? Stay away from me. Let go." "Boss, looks like we've got a little issue here at the warehouse." "What's wrong? Have the supplies gotten damaged?" No, it's not that. We've got an unwanted visitor here. But don't worry, we've got him under control. What should we do with him?" "Is this something you have to waste my time for? Don't call me for these petty reasons. You know what to do. Get rid of him." Conrad was horrified to see none other than Craig Carlson coming his way, but this was no spook, nor a spirit, nor could he be anything human or living. No, get away from me!" Conrad yelled in fear as he ran the other way. He looked back last time, petrified to see Craig limping towards him. There was only one thing he could do to save himself. Conrad closed his eyes and jumped. You can't fight against what's neither living nor dead. Click on the subscribe button and check out more awesome videos on our channel. And don't forget to press the bell icon because you know it's interesting.